Hello everyone and welcome to a podcast, a brand new podcast which is called the After Hours Chill. I'm here at my Chiny Shop in Romford and my very, very special guest, my first guest is none other than Chef Hasan, DeFour chef. Welcome to my Chiny Shop.
Well, this is somewhere I've been waiting to come since all of the fun and theatre around it coming, and to be here now, it's like I was a Chiny in a chocolate factory right now. It's like everything that I grew up, all things that I used to cook with. I'm so happy to see the shop open, and I'm happy to be a part of this podcast.
So let me explain to you. The whole idea of this is after hours. When the shop finishes at 6 o'clock, which is Monday to Saturday, we get a chance to lime and talk. Put some ice in your cup.
What we drinking here?
You are going to drink something very, very special. Here we're going to sprinkle it on the table because I know about the floor.
So we have here, which one is this one?
This is the white oak but with watermelon.
Watermelon flavor. So we're having that with some chill.
Now, this bottle of rum is not the main player on the table. This is the main player. This brand, Angostura Chill, is a set of drinks that I fell in love with. Let me just open this for you.
It's a fancy thing. Look. So this here is which one? Blood orange?
This is blood orange, and this is available in the shop. You know the lemon, lime and bitters, and throughout, I think, the coming months leading up to maybe Christmas, you're going to get some other flavors. But right now, we are here, we are chilling with Angostura Chill, blood orange, and a little white oak. Cheers. I ain't gonna drink nothing.
Okay then. So you're trying to make me drink and...
No. I will drink a little bit later on, otherwise I'll be slurring my words. So, give us a brief history of your career, Chef Hasan DeFour. I'll kick it off. You came over here in the mid-1990s.
Yeah.
You said you were going to stay a little while and study. You didn't go back. You're still here.
Well, my mom was born here originally, so I had that English Britishness, but I grew up in Trinidad from until the age of 18. I fell in love with food at St. George's College, where I did my secondary school education, and that is where my love affair with food and I wanted to pursue it further. Hence the reason I came to the UK to study and to learn more, just to see a different view of where we come from. We have the curry, the this, but to see how food could be developed, how food, the whole, French, Spanish, all of these things. It was just open up my mind, and yes, I'm still here, But I'm spreading the word, and enjoy Caribbean food.
You've done some amazing things along the way. Just name a couple of them that really stick out in your mind.
One of the main things I think that kind of really showcased me in the UK was when I did that series with Gary Rhodes across the Caribbean. So we toured 8 Caribbean islands in 5 weeks, trying from the street food to the fine dining restaurants, and from going to Curacao, Antigua, and trying their national dishes, and then just seeing how the same ingredients that we know I'm accustomed to in Trinidad being used in different ways, and still having that unique take on Caribbean cuisine. That for me was an eye-opener. It was one of the things that really kind of helped me raise my game. And one of the other main things are opening that restaurant in Singapore with my business partner Chris Morris. So we had the very first full Caribbean restaurant and rum bar in Singapore, in the heart of Chinatown. Looking out on a busy day of service, and you're seeing 150 Singaporeans enjoying doubles or eating some jerk chicken or just eating Caribbean food, and knowing that we were the first there. You know, we ran for 10 years, and for independent business, it was great. You know, it was a great opportunity to see a next side of the world and how they do food, and you know, meeting people and stuff. So that was two highlight, you know, two things that really, so far, have more to come.
And you know, and the two that you've given are just a tip of the iceberg, because there's so many things that you have accomplished, so many companies that you've helped start off their business. Your passion for food is second to none, and your passion for Trinidad is second to none. When you walked into this shop, this is your first time in the shop. It's based in Romford. My Chiny Shop started as an online store 5 years ago. They decided this year that they were going to have somewhere where people could walk into the store, and it's like a boutique store. But when you walked in, what was your first thoughts?
I started to feel like, hear them angel noises and that kind of feeling, like I was like, you know, like reaching a place where I'm in the UK. It's you know, the weather that like in Trinidad that I know, but I'm in a place where it's Trinidad, it's our brands, it's wheating, and to see that happening in 2025, it should have happened before, but everything in God's timing.
Yep.
It is. I'm really touched by seeing this happening. You know, because before, where say 15 years ago, you couldn't even find Caribbean products in a normal store. To know that you could come to a shop in Romford, you understand, in the UK, and find cheesies, tamarind ball, rum, blue soap, you know, all these kind of, you know, quintessential Trini things, and you know, that's home in one place. Have to say to the owners, job well done, and I think you could 2 more shops somewhere in the west. So things that go, you can see how it go, you understand. But this was so nice, you know, because I was in Trinidad when it launched, wasn't able to be here, but I like it, and I'll be somewhere I will be visiting and sending people to make sure that they get, you know, that they get Trinified.
I asked you if I mean, saying yes, but if I said to you, take one thing off the shelf and you could go home with it, what would it be and why?
I had 2 things. One thing.
Okay, no, listen. I know him pretty well, yeah. So cheesies.
Yeah,
cheesies. Forget about cheesies.
All right,
you know you wanted cheesies.
That cheesies.
Pick up something else.
All right, well, I was watching the shelves and I see it have some Ruku. So if
what is that?
It's not a drink. It's not a rum or anything. Ruku is one of those ingredients that was the original people of Trinidad, the Amerindians, and they used to use in their cooking. It gives a unique flavor, color, and that kind of that special, you know, it's a unique taste that it brings to the food. So I could go and bring it and show you what it is.
Yeah, go and get it. Yeah.
It in the shop.
He's going on the shelf and get one there. Look.
Yeah. But this is it here. You see, Ruku. If you don't know, get to know. This year, they in Central America and stuff, it called anato, but it's used. See the rich color. It like the cheesies. That's why I like it. But this year is one of these special ingredients. When you're cooking Trini food and stuff, adding it gives that, you know, like that really rounded, that granny taste, you know, that your grandmother used to cook, and because these are the kind of things. And I was shocked to see it here, but it's good to know. So people, you better find your Ruku, and you know, when you're making your stewed chicken and your little pilau and you want a nice color, it's a better Ruku. So,
okay.
That is what it is. So,
one of the things I think is great, and I think it's fairly safe to say that there's only one place in England that you're going to find this, and it's at my Chiny Shop. Ruku, and it isn't spelt how I thought it was going to be spelled either. Roucou is how you spell it.
Yeah.
Nice one. What is happening in the future for you? You've just come back from doing the Caribbean Beach Food Festival in Trinidad, which was Easter. What's next on the calendar for Chef DeFour?
Well, next week I'm heading off to Sweden to share some Chiny and Caribbean food flavor. I'm heading out to the Sweden Rum Festival. This is my second year being out there, and the love of rum is spreading worldwide right now. It's like rum is the new in drink. Spice rums are selling more than gin and stuff like that. Sweden last year was the first year they had it, and I bought all that extra element, So where there's rum, we have food, Caribbean food. We had pulled goat rotis, boneless pulled goat rotis,
So can you explain
how is
the process of the pulled goat?
So the meat is marinated, and then we slow cook it for about 24 hours overnight until the meat.
Just slow down. When you say slow cook it,
so it will be in the oven for at about 140, and just slow cooking, and then all of that meat comes off of the whole carcass of the goat. We use the bones and stuff to make the curry, so you get all that marrow and stuff. But then it's, that's goat with no bone, that's
soft like bubble gum.
Like that. Make had the chana aloo. Last year they were loving the I call it the maracas, which is the bacon, take on the bacon shark. We didn't have shark out there, but I used a local fish, and with the condiments, totally loved it. This year they're getting some sahina and there's swordfish, drinking food, you understand? So with my mission is to spread Caribbean food, especially Trinidadian food, to the masses, you understand? And with the opportunity with Cane Rum Society out there and Sweden Rum Festival, that's where you will find Chef DeFour next, A lot of people in London just tell me there's only be going all about and cooking for people, but I will be doing more local things. Look out for this summer. I have something in the gear. And then we have some little pop-up lines and things we're going to be doing right here in the Chiny Shop. I planning a chow lime.
Don't get them all these
no, but I
surprises,
could get them.
man.
You tell me, I ask me, I start telling them what we
Yeah, but you can't get them all these secrets. So we go be doing thing
happening.
Good.
Yeah, understand?
I like that. One, how does the drink taste?
We need to be selling this. Where's the name? We had to give this a name, Watermelon Chill.
Do you know what?
Yeah?
I would love for people that are watching this podcast, if you want to put suggestions in there, yeah? What I really love about Angostura Chill is that it does a lot of the work for you, yeah? So if you're having gatherings and, you want to make a mixture, a nice cocktail or a punch, then this does a lot of the work for you, yeah, and it tastes really good. I drink it on its own sometimes, so those of you that are teetotal, it's quite natural for you to drink it on its own, and like I said, there's other flavors, but this and a rum is quite a simple mix, but Chill has done a lot of the work for you.
There's a good vibes to the chill vibes that we're doing here.
So in the comments, make a suggestion. You never know, we may come back to you and say we're sending you a bottle of rum because you're giving us the best name. Chef, before you go, Trinidad, what does it mean to you? The reason being that I asked that question is that my Chiny Shop is more than a store, it's more than a boutique store. It's about Trinidad, the love of Trinidad. What does Trinidad mean to you?
But Trinidad is who made me who I am, you understand? Without Trinidad, there would be no Chef Hasan DeFour. From my growing up with my siblings, days by the river and doing all that kind of, eating fruit trees, and that's that basic side to leaving and appreciating it even more as I'm living outside of Trinidad, Sometimes I'll be like, I introduce myself I'm Hasan from Trinidad. When I go to Trinidad with my friends, they'll be or this is my friend Hasan from London, and I'll be like, I fighting to say, you know, but Chiny is the melting pot of culture, food, and we have something very special. When you travel outside and you're able to see different places and cultures and food, and you realize, hey, but we mixing all that up from however long, you understand? And we have something very unique, and we need to showcase it. Just as how the shop is showcasing all of the food, the snacks, the ingredients, we have to showcase the best of our culture and food, and that's my mission as a chef, you know.
Chef, thank you very much indeed. You've been watching the After Hours Chill here at my Chiny Shop. My name's Martin J. Join us for the next one real soon.
Cheers.